and today, February 24. Let's talk about the details on what you need to know about Japan's upcoming east border restrictions. So basahin natin yung article galing sa Japan Times at alamin natin kung ano yung mga mangyayari this coming March 1. Hi guys, this is Alan. Welcome back to this channel, Gaijin World. Japan is set to ease border restrictions from March 1, allowing foreign nationals who are not tourists, including students and business travelers, to finally come to the nation. So papayagan na nga nilang makapasok dito sa Japan yung mga business travelers, foreign students, and workers para makapag-start na ng transaction or yung mga plans nila na 2 years nang hindi nila nagagawa na dahil nga sa pandemic. Another significant change for travelers including Japanese and foreign residents is the shortening of the quarantine period for people who are entering the country from the current 7 days to 3 days. So mas paiikliin pa nila yung quarantine period from 7 days to 3 days para mas mapabilis yung proseso ng kanilang mga gagawin dito pagdating nila dito sa Japan. But navigating the government's documents and websites to find out exactly who can enter and under what conditions can be tricky. So ito, alamin natin yung mga frequently asked questions. Who will be able to newly enter Japan? Foreign nationals who don't currently reside in Japan and have a sponsor. Tourists are not able to enter. Okay, so yung may mga sponsor lang ang makakapasok dito, like mga kung workers, yung mga company nila, yung kung student ay yung kanilang schools, yung organization. So yun yung mga makakapasok dito. Foreign nationals able to enter include students, researchers, technical interns, business people who are posted to Japan, and people on business trips. There are about 147,000 students with visas waiting to enter Japan, according to the Immigration Services Agency. For students and researchers, universities act as sponsors, while for business people, it is the companies. Since non-resident foreign nationals coming to Japan might not have a local network or knowledge of the country and possibly don't speak Japanese, the government wants to make sure that sponsors will be able to assist them through quarantine procedures and be able to help them seek medical attention if they develop COVID-19. So, importante na meron ka talagang connection dito, meron kang assisting organization like companies or schools para ma-assist ka nila in case na magkaroon nga ng mga medical issues like magkaroon ka ng COVID-19 infection. At present, Japan only accepts a very small number of new entries by foreign nationals such as students with a state-sponsored scholarship and other exceptional cases such as the spouse or child of a resident. So another question, what do sponsors need to do? They will need to submit an application form online, but this time sponsors will not be required to submit activity plans outlining where the traveler will stay and go for the first 2 weeks in Japan as they had to do in November. So kung merong nire-require na mga activity plans like paano nila i-handle yung kanilang mga students and kanilang mga workers ay hindi na kailangan mag-submit nito, pero kailangan na lang nilang mag-apply online, ayan, mag-fill up ng application form online. The government will set up a call center to answer questions on the application procedure. So itong application procedure, ito yung gagawin ng mga hosting organizations, yung mga sponsors ng student visa holder, working visa holder. So sila yung mga companies and yung mga schools dito sa Japan. So another question, will more people be allowed in? Yes, starting March 1, the number of people allowed to enter Japan will be raised to 5,000 per day from the current 3,500. Some people misunderstand this as the number of new entries allowed per day, but this is not the case. So, daily ay magkakaroon ng increase sa pagpasok ng mga workers or mga foreigners dito sa Japan. So itatas nila yan up to 5,000 daily. The figures refers to the number of people entering Japan on a daily basis. Japanese nationals and foreign residents re-entering the country are included in the quota, as well as the new entries who will be allowed in from March 1. Businesses and universities have said that the 5,000 cap is not enough. So another question here, who will be affected by the shortened quarantine period? Basically, anyone entering Japan will benefit from the shortened quarantine period. At present, anyone coming to Japan needs to quarantine for 7 days at home or a facility of their choosing. Those arriving from hot spots where the Omicron variant is rampant need to quarantine at a government-designated facility for either 6 or 3 days depending on how serious the infections are in that country. But starting March 1, the quarantine period will be shortened to 3 days at home or a place of the traveler's choosing if they test negative on the 3rd day. What if you are vaccinated? The quarantine period can be eliminated only if you receive a booster shot and arrive from a country where Omicron is not rampant. If you've received a booster but arrive from an Omicron hotspot, you will not be given a special treatment over travelers without boosters. In other words, as with those who are unvaccinated or have only received 2 shots, you can quarantine at home or a place of your choosing for 3 days, provided that you test negative on the 3rd day. Okay, so ang mga approved vaccines are those from Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. The government will announce just before or on March 1 an updated version of which countries will be designated as Omicron hotspots under the new restrictions. At present, most countries including all group of 7 nations are in this category, while Asian countries such as China, Malaysia, and Vietnam are not considered to be hotspots. However, this may change by March depending on the situation in those countries. Next question, will I be able to go home from the airport by public transport? So ang sagot dyan, yes, a big difference for those arriving in Japan. At present, you are not allowed to use public transportation to head home or to the place where you intend to stay, limiting options to things like renting a car, asking family or friends to pick you up, or using a so-called hired taxi, an expensive taxi that you must make a reservation for. Starting March 1, you will be allowed to use public transportation to go to your place of quarantine. Do I need to submit a negative test result when I arrive in Japan? Yes, a negative COVID-19 test result from within 72 hours prior to departure to Japan will still be needed. You will also be tested when you arrive at the airport. So ito yung mga dapat ninyong malaman once na magbukas na uli ang border sa March 1. I hope nakatulong itong information sa inyo. Kung nagustuhan ninyo, please like this video and mag-comment na rin kayo. I-share ninyo to sa mga naghahantay na mga latest updates about sa pagbubukas uli ng Japan para sa mga foreigners, mga student visa holders, mga working visa holders, and yung mga business travelers na matagal nang naghihintay na makapasok dito. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you din sa mga nakapag-subscribe na, at sa mga hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, mag-subscribe na kayo and i-hit nyo yung notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga susunod ko pang i-upload na mga updates related sa travel ban dito sa Japan. And huwag nyong kalimutang i-check yung aming mga playlist dahil makakatulong din yan sa inyong pamumuhay dito sa Japan. Huwag nyo rin kalimutang i-check yung mga videos na lalabas dito sa screen dahil makakatulong din yan sa inyo.